New year, new you. It's that time where everybody starts to say that. New year, new me. And most don't realize the power in that statement, or more so the work that is required to create this new version of you. See, I've never been the one to necessarily say the new year, new me thing. I don't know, it just never really made the most sense to me, or more so to highlight just the new version of it. I don't like to focus on the new year, new me aspect. I like to focus on the work, or focus on the lessons required and changes required in order to create this new version of ourselves. And this is just what I wanted to talk about, because I don't see it as just a new year, new you, new year, new me. I see it as a new year, new opportunity, new day to correct yesterday's wrongs and last year's wrongs and apply the lessons learned from them to facilitate the creation of the new version of ourselves today. In order to create a new version of yourself, you must be able to create changes that I hope were brought to your attention in the last 365. And if you've been to my channel before, chances are you know that there are some changes that you need to make, and you're trying to figure this life thing out. So the changes needed to facilitate the growth in this new creation of you inside of this 365 are within the last 365. You learned a lot of things last year. You've been through a lot of things last year. And now is the time to take the things that you've been through and the things that you've learned and apply those lessons to you today. Apply those lessons to you for the rest of this year to facilitate the creation of the person that you want to be. You have to realize where you were last year, yesterday, whatever day, whenever you were seeing this video, last year in general. You have to be able to realize where you were in order to know where you want to go or where you're headed. You have to realize where you are in the present and current time in order to change your trajectory, to figure out where you need to go, where you want to go. A lot of us went through a lot last year, and really a lot of people went through a lot in the last week of the last year, and it's very sad to say, but you have to realize where you were in order to understand where you need to go or where you want to go. So with that being said, we need to be very clear and concise about the direction and trajectory that we are going into this next year. If you remember what I said in the previous video, life doesn't get easier. It only gets harder. We just become more equipped for it. It's like a game. There's levels to it. You can't necessarily go back down. Once you go back down, you are stuck reaping the rewards of living in that mediocre level or living that mediocre life. You're not going to get the rewards that you want out of life. So we must take the hardships, the lessons learned, and everything from last year and apply that to us in the next 365 in order to become more equipped for any of the challenges and everything that is going to be thrown at us this year. Last year was hard. Last year, man, it was a tough year. A lot of changes, voluntarily and involuntarily. A lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of realization, a lot of growth, a lot of awakening. A lot of it. We went through a lot of things last year, so expect to go through a lot of things this year. And realize that you're going to have to go through these things and make these changes in order to create this new version of yourself. See, this is why I like to focus on. This is why I like to focus on it. Like I said, people say, new year, new me, new year, new you. But nah, it's new year, new changes, new opportunity, new day to apply the wrongs and lessons from last year to create the new version of yourself. That's what it's really about. When you extrapolate it up more than just new year, new me, this is what it's all about. It's about taking the things that you went through last year, taking the things that you learned last year, the realization, the awakening, the growth, and apply it to the next 365 in order to create the version that you want to be. I'm not going to say that again. I don't want to make it redundant. I'm actually going to take my jacket off. The sun is beaming. It's cold outside, but the sun is beaming, so I'm hot. Much better. But the changes needed to move forward inside of this year were very apparent to you last year, and you know what they are. A lot of people have shared the things that they went through, and you don't want to go through those things again. You don't want to go through the hardship again, whether it's dealing with any form of anything in the social aspect, such as relationships or interact. When it comes to the people, let's just say people, that makes it better. A lot of the hardship, a lot of the detriment to a lot of us is more so dealing with other people. So now we understand how we felt. We knew how we felt, and we know we need to change that and what needs to be changed. The changes that you need to make this year are very clear, and you are in control, because as I said, the changes needed for this 365 were brought to your attention in the last 365. And I want to emphasize the fact that you are in control of these changes. And the only person that is accountable for creating this new version of you and making the changes needed to create the person that you want to be and achieve your goals is you, nobody else. You already know what needs to be changed. You already know what sacrifices need to be made. You already know what needs to be added. You already know what discipline needs to be implemented inside of your life in order to help you achieve the goal or achieve the outcomes that you need for this next year. But I'm interested, and if you feel like sharing, go drop down below what changes you feel like you need to make this year in order to achieve the goals, in order to achieve the outcomes, to create this new version of yourself that you want for this 365. Tell me down below, what changes do you need to make? Do you need to lose some people? Do you need to focus on yourself more? Do you need to have more discipline? Is it something in relation to your health? Do you need to go to the gym? Or what is it? What changes do you need to make inside of your life to facilitate it? Drop that down below. I know some of the changes that I need to make this year, and I'm having a hard time implementing it. But this is part of my process. This is why I turn on the camera and I talk to people. I talk to myself and I reflect, and it just happens to reach others. This is part of my process of figuring out what I need to do in order to change my life and figuring this life thing out. That's what it's all about. We're just figuring this life thing out together. I know one of the changes that I need to make is in regards to distractions, the importance of my time and value of my time, as well as not pouring into others' cups or not pouring into myself. I talked about it a little bit on the channel, but these are the changes that I need to do for myself in order to create the new version of myself that I want to make this year. So tell me down below, what changes do you need to make within your life, within your circle, your environment, in order to facilitate the growth for you in this next 365? And like I said, I'm struggling to implement these changes. I've been working on it. We've been working on it. This is also another part of the new year, new me, because you should have already been working on these changes needed for yourself. I struggle to implement it. Chances are you struggle to implement it too. But although it's hard, I believe in you. I believe that you can make the changes. I believe that you can be great this year. I believe that whatever it is that you went last year was only to set you up for the greatness of this year that is to come. All the pain, all the sad times, the dark times, the hard times, all of that, it was in order to prepare you for this next year. This next year is going to be great. Any day that we wake up is actually great, not just because the date changed, not just because the year changed or whatnot, because we have a new opportunity to learn from the mistakes and pain and any hardships and lessons from yesterday, last year, last month, last week, in order to apply that today to facilitate something positive, to get a better outcome. That's what it's all about. It's all about continuing to improve. It's all about continuing to improve, finding that validation in ourselves, creating a better version of ourselves, getting 1% better every single day. So although we went through some hardships last year, they really wasn't hardships. It was just part of the process in order to set us up for greatness. Like I said, it's only going to get harder and we must become more equipped. I can guarantee you're more equipped than you were last year. Ironic I'm saying that and it's only the first day of the year, but yeah, I can guarantee you're more equipped for the challenges to come this year than last year. So give yourself a pat on the back. You made it through. 2024 was rough, but it's 2025 now. We got this. Chin up, stand tall, and let's move forward into this next year. Let's create a new version of ourselves over this next 365. A new version of ourselves that's going to be proud. A new version of ourselves that's going to be proud to look back at the old version of ourselves last year and say, man, we made it through this and look at us now. But yeah, thank you for watching this and giving me some more of your time once again. I also forgot to say Happy New Year's. That's also important. Happy New Year's to you. I know you guys made my New Year's happy. The last week of 2024, everything went crazy with the channel. It kept blowing up and now I'm at 5,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I'm building my own little family and own little community in order to talk to people with and express with and relate with. It feels honestly amazing. I have a video over 100,000 views. 100,000 people listen to it. It's crazy. I'm just figuring this life thing out too. So, but yeah, I just want to say Happy New Year. You got this. Take the lessons from last year, apply them to this year. In reality, there may have been blessings in disguise. It hurt, but a lot of times that's how it works. Sometimes you got to go through the hard things to get to the things to get to the true reward, right? And sometimes that reward is just growth, or sometimes that reward is the lesson. Let's be real clear and concise about the trajectory and the direction that we're going inside of this year. Let's make those changes. We know what they are. They may be hard. Like I said, drop it below if you feel like you can be vulnerable or share it with me. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and maybe share this with somebody. And as we go through this next 365, please remember this, as this is one of my biggest takeaways from last year. You can only control what you can control. You're only in control of yourself. And as you walk through the days, the best way to do it and keep yourself from going insane and overthinking and going through all this stuff inside of your head and getting trapped in your own mental abyss is do this. Take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. And I promise to you, everything will work out. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year. It's already a great year. Day one, beautiful outside. It might be cold, but it's beautiful. You were able to rise this morning. But yeah, thank you for your time. Peace, love, and blessings. I'll catch you in the next one.